One of my favorite, sorry about that. One of my favorite poems out there is this beautiful poem by T.S. Eliot. And the poem is called Yes. And this is how the poem works. T.S. Eliot in this poem, Yes, says, yes is a word, and in that word of yes lies skillfully curled all worlds. So yes is a word, and within that word of yes lies skillfully curled all worlds. And I love what strikes me about that poem, this idea that that when we say yes, there's this infinite world that's just all curled up and it just unfolds. And I think about being a little boy and being out in the woods and seeing the way ferns, as a little boy in the spring, ferns be all curled in and they would just fan out seemingly miraculously. And I think that's what yes kind of does. And the yes of Christmas is this. The yes of Christmas is so much about this idea that God is born unto all of us. That's the point. It's interesting with Jesus constantly calls himself the Son of Humanity, older translation, Son of Man. Never actually refers to himself with the phrase Son of God. And why would that be? Why would that be? Well, it's because that's what God yearns to be. That's what God yearns to arrive into our lives. And folks, there's just a miracle in that when we think about it. There's a huge yes to that and a huge welcoming of this birth of something that we can cherish and care for and love and connect with and grow in relationship with. How beautiful is that? And then this goes way back to one of the oldest prophecies of of God coming to earth, of God incarnate. This comes from Isaiah 9:6, a famous one you've heard. And again, this is hundreds and hundreds of years before the birth of Christ. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. Beautiful line there. Unto us a child is given. And the government will be upon his shoulder, and his name will be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God. Right away, that connection to God. Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Oh, such good stuff. And it's hard to talk about because it is so profound. It's so much more aligned with the mystical tradition of Christianity than it is with any clear cut, ironclad theological postulation of stuff. This is big, and this is sort of the wind that is to flow into our hearts. So welcome that, friends. Welcome that God into your heart, and it's not just that we kind of like Christmas. Welcome God. Here's all the presents and the nice food. It's this movement through, and as this movement moves through us, it's a movement that will move with us, and that will move for us, and that will move us. Will continue to move us outward there into the world. I love the way, with the God with us, a big fan of Rachel Held Evans, who's sadly passed away a few years ago. Amazing theologian. And this is the way she phrased it in terms of God with us. What does that mean? Again, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. What does that mean that God incarnate came into this earth so we could know the human experience, so we could better understand what we could be and what we should be just by simply following this model, not a complicated model. And again, little aside, Gospel of John, my favorite, 30 pages. I probably write 30 pages of stuff a week. Here's this gospel that changed the world. It's all of 30 pages. So listen to Rachel Held Evans's words here. They're beautiful. God trusted God's very self, totally and completely, and in full bodily form, to the care of a woman. God needed women for survival. Before God fed us with the bread and the wine, the body and the blood, talking about there with communion, Jesus himself needed to be fed by a woman. He needed a woman to say, "This is my body given for you." To understand Mary's humanity and her central role in Jesus' story is to remind ourselves of the true miracle of the incarnation. And that is the core Christian conviction that God is with us. Yes, plain, old, ordinary us. God is with us in our fears and in our pain, in our morning sickness and in our ear infections, in our refugee crises, in smelly barns and unimpressive backwater towns, in the labor pains of a new mother, and in the cries of a tiny infant. In all these things, God is with us. God is for us. Oh, so beautifully said. So, folks, like the takeaway there is just to allow that yes into your heart, and And it's a softer thing. It's a willingness. It's not a willfulness. It's not something we push towards or conquer or accomplish. It's none of that. It's this gentle opening where we allow God to just come in. And then, may you find that this Christmas season. For many of us, Christmas might be different this year, but the spirit's always the same, and the spirit is always one of invitation, and it's always one, like, it's God's invitation is constant, never the bottom of the ninth. This will come again next December 25th. And that invitation always is to this yes. So, friends, closing with these words: yes is a word, and in that word of yes lies skillfully curled all worlds. Amen. All right, friends. So what we're going to do now is we're going to shift into our little meditation, our prayer, our blessing. We'll say hello to folks on social media. Just a reminder, with New Church Live on Saturday, we have a special Christmas Eve service that will run at 5 p.m. You're welcome to join us in person at New Church Live or to join us online. Sunday, because it's Christmas Sunday, we'll be spending it with our families. We will be running an online service we did a few years ago, which you're more than welcome to watch online. We will have no in-person church, but we will have online church. Again, you can watch that off of our homepage, newchurchlive.tv. So with that, dear friends, let's do our little meditation here. So we're going to start with our little prayer bell, and just take a little breath and just relax into that big yes. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends, let's get a little cheery hello here. All right, get this reloaded. Okie dokie. All right. I hope everybody's out there surviving the storm. All right. Number of comments here. Linda, good morning to you, and I hope you're doing well. Same to you, Paige, and same to you, Marcus, my friend. And let's hop over onto my page here. Boom, boom. There we go. All right. Some comments over here. Sherry writes, have a merry, peaceful Christmas. Yeah, and I love that idea, right? Prince of Peace. That is just such a beautiful idea. My buddy Dean writes, thank you and Merry Christmas. Same to you, Dean. Hope life is going well. Sherry writes, Merry Blessed Christmas. Amen to that. And Kim writes, good morning, all. Hope everyone is a safe, happy holidays. Yes, please be safe today if you are traveling. So Wishing you folks all the best. God bless. Merry Christmas, and hopefully you can tune in to our Christmas Eve service, 5 p.m. tomorrow. So God bless, friends. Take care. Bye-bye.